Ladies and gentlemen, there's been a lot of talk about Gaza recently. A lot. I've actually kind of avoided the topic a bit because we've been trying to drift away from current news and topics to try to cover more of the systemic issues that are plaguing our societies around the world. But with what's going on in Gaza now, with this whole ceasefire deal, I thought we'd chime in a bit. We've got a little bit of a new segment to look at, and we'll talk about it in a moment. I'm Tal the Traveling Clat, your favorite Zionist prince. Let's take a look here.
Bring in right now Lieutenant Colonel Jonathan Conricus, the former IDF spokesperson, now a senior fellow at FDD, co-founder of Bottom Line Media. Good to see you, sir. You've been with us for a long time, and you were a very familiar face in the early months. Sadly, here we are where there is still conflict. There are still hostages. I just want to get your reaction right now today to an important speech that Prime Minister Netanyahu will give to the world. We're going to take it live. At this point, the operation in Gaza will be something that hopefully brings hostages home, but also offers a new vision for what people and what life can be like in Gaza. What would you say to that very lofty goal?
Yeah, first of all, it's great to be back and it's great to see you. What I hope that my Prime Minister will be focusing on is a message of leadership whereby he will share his vision, what the future of Gaza looks like, and what the end goal is. I and many, many more, countless Israelis, want to defeat Hamas, achieve victory against a vicious and cruel enemy. I want deterrence returned, and I want our enemies and potential enemies to fear us, and our friends to want to become close to us. That can be achieved only if we achieve victory. And I want to know, and I hope that the Prime Minister will address it, what the plan is for the day after the IDF goes in and destroys Hamas in Gaza. If you ask, is it possible? My clear, unequivocal answer is yes. It is technically and militarily possible to go in and actually defeat Hamas. We've been delaying and stalling for various reasons, but it is possible. But what we need to know, just like Americans needed to know before the invasion of Iraq, and just like many other countries need to know, is what is the end state. And I hope we will hear that.
What is the vision after? Well said. And we certainly await these comments. In our final moments here, there has been, countries, Australia the most recent, but you have the UK, France, and Canada all saying at the United Nations General Assembly they'll recognize the Palestinian state. But then there's a lot of concerns. We have an outgoing ambassador in Brussels saying, Europe, you will lose if you punish Israel over Gaza. It is not safe to be a Jew in Europe. Your thoughts on those who continue to say that at the UN General Assembly they will make such a move, and do you have a word to those countries?
I, as an Israeli, feel that it's a betrayal by democracies against a democracy fighting for its survival. I think of it as hugely unproductive, and it's basically a silver platter. It's a French, British, Canadian, Australian silver platter on which that they're giving Hamas and telling Hamas, you are the future of the Palestinian people. You are the political leadership, because that is how this is translated into Middle Eastern terms. Every Arab in the world, every Arab in Israel, every Arab in what they call Palestine, he will see this and he will recognize that Hamas won. Yeah, and that is
we really appreciate your comments ahead of Prime Minister Netanyahu's speech. Lieutenant Colonel Jonathan Conricus, a fellow now at FDD. Good to see you,
ladies and gentlemen, like Jonathan said in this video, and it's very much true that the European nations that undermined Israel this week, threatening that they would recognize a Palestinian state, have delayed the process of a ceasefire. Even yesterday, we had news that Hamas has apparently accepted or was nearing accepting the terms and then backed out again. So again, Hamas has now rejected the ceasefire terms. There just isn't a reason for Hamas to accept these ceasefire terms. If they wait it out and they just wait till September, then all these countries will start recognizing a Palestinian state. The bombardment will start. The media warfare will start against Israel again, and Israel will have to capitulate yet again to the Western world and to their retardedness. Listen, there's a multi-front problematic issue here. One is Bibi Netanyahu just keeps talking and not doing. We're all frustrated. Every single Israeli is frustrated. It's either you're going to fucking fight or you're going to keep talking about fighting or not do it. It was one or the other. It's do a ceasefire and do it on bad terms for us, or fucking fight. What we've been doing for the last 3-4 months is back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. We're gonna invade. We're gonna invade. To the point where I talk to soldiers and they're telling me we just want to fucking do something already. It's either we're going in to fight or we're not. Like we're in reserve duty and we're not doing shit. We're jacking around, and without getting into like too fine terms of what they're doing. But a lot of soldiers have vented frustration to me, especially friends of mine who are in Gaza, are just telling me like we can't do what we need to do. We're fighting with our hand behind our back. And a big part of this comes to Bibi and his government's indecisiveness, their internal issues, and them not willing to act upon what they need to do. I think a large portion of Israel, I mean, they're less ready now, especially with the videos that came out of the hostages about a month ago. But up until a month ago, much of Israel was still ready for another front against God, like another initiated effort. Hey, we're going to support the soldiers. Let's do this. Let's go. Let's rock the world and finish this shit. But now, again, we've delayed, and we're giving them the opportunity to reach a ceasefire agreement. And the thing is, they just don't give a fuck. And the Western world is ready and willing to embolden them. It's not that they're like waiting anxiously to criticize Israel. The Western world is ready and willing to embolden Hamas and embolden the Palestinian terrorism. They're ready to do it with love. The Western world. They're not waiting anymore. So we're stuck in this catch-22 position where there really doesn't seem like there's a good win in sight, and we may have to take some L's. You know, I've come to you in the past and I've told you it seems like we're winning, it seems like we're winning. It's become abundantly clear, and I really want each and every single one of you guys who watch my videos to understand this. Without demonizing all of Palestinian society, this is just the reality of Palestinians. Even if they don't like Hamas, okay? Let's say that most Palestinians, I'm willing to even accept today, don't like Hamas in Gaza. They're not proud of Hamas. Okay? The Arabs in the diaspora, like Arabs outside of in the Western world and whatever, they love Hamas because they have a cancerous ideology for the most part. But Arabs in the Middle East, and let's say Arabs specifically in Gaza, most of them, they don't like Hamas anymore. But something important to remember is they don't like Hamas because they've had a change of heart and realize that this ideology is not good. They don't like Hamas because Hamas steals their food and Hamas shoots them occasionally, and Hamas has sown chaos in their society. They very much so still love the ideology behind Hamas. 99% of Palestinians are still very much pro the idea of murdering Jewish people from the river to the sea, one Palestinian state with no Jews in sight. Palestinians overall are very much in support of this, whether in the West Bank, Gaza, Jordan, wherever they are in the world. So just remember, as you see this stuff happening, as you see a push from Western European nations, two-state solution, we're going to recognize a Palestine. Just remember that they're going to be recognizing a state with literal Nazis that will guarantee us war again. Two-state solution guarantees you a war now. You get a guarantee that you kick this can down the road and you get another war in the near future. Thinking outside of the box, not two-state solutioning, one-state solution, repealing some elements of democratic Israel and forming it to something new. That might actually give us a saving chance. But the way we are right now, if the status quo continues and the Israeli government doesn't get its shit together, we're heading to war. And if you get a two-state solution, we are heading towards a vicious, vicious war. I'll see you guys in the next one. I love you a long time. Goodbye, Klats.
If you believe in my content and want to support me, just know your help is needed. There's a bunch of great ways to support me, being PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, or joining my Patreon community down below. Patreon is the best way to support my channel, and you'll get a bunch of cool perks depending on what tier you join. Another great way to support me is by buying my merchandise on thetravelingclat.com. I regularly drop new merch designs like this beautiful hat, or this amazing shirt, where you can support the channel and get something cool for yourself. I also have an amazing Discord community with people from all over the world. Thank you so much for your support.